Present.
All present, say aye.
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 All present. Do we need by name?
Yeah, if you could say
Oh.
your names and say aye, that would work.
Mike Suffer.
Better.
Aye.
Sister Paula Rose, aye.
Booma. Ralph Taylor, aye.
Charles Davis, aye.
Mary Mack, aye.
Tony Majors, aye.
Next item on the agenda is a vote to approve or disapprove the minutes for the 9/11/23 meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes from the 9/11/23 meeting.
I will second that.
I have a vote, or a motion to approve. I have a motion to a second. All in favor, say aye by your name and your vote.
Mike Suffer. Aye.
Sister Paula Rose, aye.
Ralph Taylor, aye.
Charles Davis, aye.
Mary Mack, aye.
Tony Majors, aye.
Vote to approve the meeting minutes for 9/11/23 passes. Number 3 on the agenda, public hearing. Do we need to open it, public hearing first, or?
Yes, and I would also just like to state for the record that this public hearing is for unmet needs of low and moderate income, where any citizens or stakeholders are welcome to come here and inform us of any of those unmet needs that they feel need to have some more light shed on them, and perhaps utilize that information about towards our annual action plan for this 2024 year that I am just started writing. So it's really nice to always have feedback from the community. This was put in the newspaper on January 12th, informing of this public hearing. It was put on social media. It's been on the city's website. So just wanted to let you know that information has been put out there and available. People could also email or call, and I have not received any comments or information. There is a sign-up sheet here. I also don't see anybody here present in the audience wanting to speak, but still you would have to officially open it and close it.
I will do that. Do I have a motion to open the public hearing?
I move to open the public hearing for unmet community needs. I second.
I have a motion, and I have a second to vote to open for public for low to moderate income needs. All in favor say aye in your name.
Mike Suffer, aye.
Sister Paula Rose, aye.
Ralph Taylor, aye.
Charles Davis, aye.
Mary Mack, aye.
Tony Majors, aye.
Motion carries. We are now open public hearing to accept public comments.
And I'll also just state for the record again, nobody has come to give you any public comments. So you can close it if you wish.
I move to close the public hearing.
I'll second it.
With a motion to close and a second, all in favor to close.
Aye. Mike Suffer, aye.
Sister Paula Rose, aye.
Ralph Taylor, aye.
Charles Davis, aye.
Mary Mack, aye.
Tony Majors, aye.
Motion carries to close. The public hearing is closed. Now I turn it over to Julie for an update on CDBG program status.
Okay, well, I wanted, since we haven't seen each other since September, I just thought I'd just give you a quick little synopsis for how things are going, since we are just a little over halfway through our program year. So for the home ownership program, we are still sitting at 3 homes. Our goal is 5. Unfortunately, I have not been getting applicants that are qualified, or a whole lot of applicants for the home ownership program right now. Have spent some time at Federal Credit Union, speaking with them and started orienting myself with local lenders and real estate agents and have been reaching out. So I still find those cold calls because Leavenworth is small enough to be very fruitful. So they know that our program is here and viable, but you know, it is a funky time of year right now. Some people are waiting for those income tax returns to come back to help with the down. Some people are still feeling a little uncomfortable just because of the way the current interest rate market is. So, but it is, people are still buying, so gonna have some hope that we get 2 more and reach the goal for this year, or for this program year. For our home repair program, we have 9 applicants that have applied, and we have provided some home repair replacement systems in their homes, so that is awesome. I also have 2 more that are processing right now, so we're gonna reach a goal on that. Great. Wish we just had tons and tons more, but you know, I'll be happy if we can reach what our goal was that we put out, so that's very viable and moving forward. For our infrastructure, we are working right now with Public Works on, again, this northeast section of Leavenworth is the opportunity zone. And now we are on the other side of Dakota is the location we're looking at from 4th to Cheyenne Curve. Or I'm sorry, we're not looking at it, that's what we're doing. That job is out to bid right now. And the bids come back on the 28th of this month. And so we will be redoing all of the sidewalks, the corners for ADA compliance, and making those all safe. I would also like to address a question that you had, Board Member Majors. You had asked me at the last meeting, how do you guys know what areas, or where is the project going to be next time, right? I think I'd also let you know that there hasn't always been a fluency of persistently using those funds. Kind of some of the history that has happened is they gain into this pot, right, and then they get spent, and I am trying to change that. So I have been working closely with our engineering department, and I also recently have let them know approximately how much that I think that we can be putting towards these projects, approximately $60,000 a year. And we're gonna be working on sidewalks, okay, in the areas where they're needed. And here's what's wonderful about that. I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about this, but just to let you all know, if you have not received your winter First City Connection, you can find this information in there and also on the city's website, or I can get you connected directly with engineering. The city has started a new plan, First City Vision Zero Action Plan. I don't know if you've heard about this or not, and I hope that anybody watching and listening to this meeting finds this to be beneficial. You can find this information I'm about ready to speak about at www.leavenworthks.org/Vision Zero. What this is, Vision Zero is a method of improving traffic safety with the goal of eliminating fatal and serious injury crashes. And it's a method that allows stakeholders and citizens directly here to be able to go in and they can mark exactly for the engineering department, this area, this location, this corner is a problem for bicyclists, pedestrians, vehicles. I want some attention right here. You can have the option of uploading pictures also. And so what's going to be really amazing is I would like to work closely with engineering and make sure that we're focusing on this. And I would still like to take the information of whatever they decide are the biggest main areas where they want to start first. And if they're in that opportunity zone, I would like to begin there first. And so Engineering and myself have been talking about this ever since I learned that they had this in place, and I think it's wonderful. It's going to help us accomplish a lot of goals that are important and go towards some greater good for safety. So that's going to be, right now at this moment, that's going to be the official plan of action, is going in that direction, is feeding off of this information. And what I love about it is because of the very reason right now, despite the advertisement of a public hearing, we often never have anybody ever come, but this is an opportunity to hear directly from the citizens. This is the location that we can go and look at where people, they are speaking to us, they are telling us. So that is going to be the areas that I'll be focusing on. And the results of all of this, I am told right now at this moment, probably will not be 100% available until this fall, right? Because they're running this, wanting to look at it. So I encourage you to check it out and go look at it. I think it's wonderful, great information. It's like having an open public hearing for a long time and gives people the opportunity to advise about where they think is unsafe, where they want some attention.
What's the website again?
It is www.leavenworthks.org/vision 0.
So is there a lot of people that have provided input?
I don't know if I can see all of the information. So it's too premeditated, and I'm not directly involved in making this plan at all. I'm just super excited and so proud of our engineering department for jumping on this and taking advantage of this program. So I apologize, I don't have a lot of data about this right now.
Speaks to the power of the internet and social media. So, go
Yeah.
take advantage of that. Sure.
For sure.
What people say.
Yes, so, having said that, I think that would be a good plan, and of course, annual action plans are always brought before you, so, you're always gonna know kind of the area and the idea somewhat of where we're at, and, so while for Dakota, from Fourth to Cheyenne Curve, obviously isn't a location that's being pulled from this data because Vision Zero data is not available yet. It is still an area that we have known in the entire northeast section is needing updates. And so that is why we're going in that direction, and engineering has been really great in helping doing all the planning parts so that we don't have, the program doesn't pay for the planning or any of that. Our engineering department is taking care of that, so.
I have a comment.
Yeah.
I liked it, how you're doing this a little differently and trying something new. I mean, in the past, when we've done sidewalks, it was almost a desperation spend.
Right.
And we were doing a mile or, many blocks at a time. One thing, I'm trying to call up here on MapQuest and see the exact area, but, it's there around the school.
Yep.
It's also an area where I believe we've demoed some houses. If we can put sidewalks in front of vacant lots, and make it more presentable, I would support moves like that.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. And the whole area over there, just like the sidewalk project that CDBG funds chipped into, was on Dakota, but it was on the other side, right? It was from 5th to 7th. That gave direct link from St. Vincent Clinic all the way down to the school. There was some small area tree clearing there for safety as well. That was great. But just like you're saying, there's everything that it benefits. There's parks, there's schools, there's apartment buildings, there's businesses. It's a great location to be making sure that we can just start my hope is that we could just start kind of going down the line and just trying to take care of the whole area every bit that we can every year and start going and doing another. But I also would like to take into consideration what kind of data we're gonna get back from all of this. So if I get any data about any of this by the time we meet in September, I'm gonna make sure that I'll be sharing that with you.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. That's all I have for that right now. So another item, is discussion of the aggregate sheets, to be completed by all of the board members. And then also determine a date of completion that is convenient for all of you. So I do have stacks out here available for you to take when you do leave. I also listened to all your feedback from last year, right? Because last year, I had updated a little bit of the information on the aggregate sheet and kind of how it flowed from what it had been in the years previous. And I listened to a lot of things that you all said when I had asked for feedback or maybe some personal commentary about how this worked for you. So what you have right there is the very first thing in the top left corner in red print says PSA name here. Okay, so this is an example. This is a public service agency score sheet that you'll be completing for every single one of the agencies that applied for the CDBG funds. And in the stacks that you have a copy of their application and then one of these score sheets that has that agency's name on it, okay? All ready to go. And so one of the things that I did was I made sure that all of the questions on here, as you're gonna go through them or score them, directly actually reflect the applications very well, okay? And there was also some commentary about an uneven number of statements to score that didn't mathematically devise right. So I also took care of that too. It is up to you, but if you would like to use the manner of scoring, for instance, on the top there where it says need in green, the total points in need would go in the green box. And if you look there off to the left, it says total points possible for that section is 20, okay? So if you devise each one of those 4 statements, made them 5 points, you could do that. It's really up to you, but overall, you just can't give more than 20 points for that box, okay? So that's how you would just go down with all of those. The need, the project, the budget and timeliness, and then other. And they are all relevant. There's a couple of things also differently on here that I want to point out and make sure that you know about. On budget and timeliness, there are 2 statements. One of them is the agency submitted reports on time in the previous grant year. The other one is agency expended or is expending their funds within timeliness reason in the previous grant year, right? Because most of these agencies are recipients of these funds right now. And the whole turning their reports in on time. These are their stats, their statistical data sheets. It's in their subrecipient contracts that these are turned in on time. And so that was something that one of you had asked me about to make sure that I had in here this year. So it's there. And how do you know that, right? Because how would you know unless like you called me, right? So that hints to your nice little cheat sheet that you have right here. It's nothing fancy. It just simply has all of the agencies that are receiving funds right now, okay? I'm listing out, letting you know their first quarter statistics, if it was on time, and if it wasn't, how many days late. Their second quarter statistics. We haven't gotten to the end of the third quarter or the fourth quarter for me to have any comments. So far, that's just how that looks. Their award amount that they're receiving currently in this grant year is listed. And then how much as of today have they expended of those funds? And then how much is remaining? Then I put some comments onto the side because I felt like it was important for you to know. I do want to tell you that I don't think that any of these agencies that have not completely expended their funds is because they can't or they're not going to. I don't have any red alarms going off saying that they don't. I do have some commentary, for instance, there on the side with the Alliance. The Alliance Against Family Violence did just have a turnover in their executive director. I have met with the new director, Ms. Katie Irvine. She is currently right now, she's evaluating all of the grants and making sure that she is having all of the correct funds going compliantly where they need to go and orientating with herself. I, for one, understand that. And I thought that was important for you to know. She is working on that, and I'm not concerned right now. If I was, by the time April comes when we meet, if for some reason, not that I foresee this, but if for some reason we had an agency who couldn't expend all their funds, I would be talking to that agency by April and asking them, and if they can't, then I would be asking you to please tell me where you would like me to put that money, right? Because we don't want to leave any funds on the table that we can spend, and we can only spend up to 15% of that annual entitlement on public service agencies. And so we want to spend every dollar we can, because we know if one can't spend it, someone else definitely will. So that's how you can know those answers, is by that little cheat sheet. But if you have any questions about it, please let me know. No problem. And then, of course, I also have a copy of the complete full application that all the agencies were given, so that you could have a fresh look at it. So as you're going through, you can see, well, what did this application look like when they got it right before they, based upon their answers. That way you can refer back to that if it doesn't appear it's flowing well for you. So having said that, I also think that it's more than fair for you all to have a minimum of at least 2 weekends. Let me ask you, we get back together on March 11th is the next meeting. That meeting, all of the agencies are going to be here, and they will have an opportunity to speak for about 2 or 3 minutes, and then you'll have an opportunity to ask them any question. Maybe it's something about the application, or maybe something that they said, whatever that would be. I'm also gonna make sure that you get the calculation, the aggregate calculation of all of your scores on this. I don't put people's names on these. I do number certain board members to a number so that I know who I got things back from, but it's not announced who had scored what. But I give you all, just like last year, the aggregate of all of your information. So when we have our March meeting, you will have already seen all the applications. You would have scored it based upon what the information you had at the time, and then you'll have an opportunity to ask questions if you would like to, and all of that will happen before you will vote. It is to be a competitive grant, so I'm hoping that will give you enough ample time. Having said that, I really like to get that agenda packet out to you guys. I always have it out to you a solid week before. So my question to you is, would you all feel comfortable with having the score sheets turned in by March the 1st? That way I could have the aggregate count back to you
I concur.
a week before. Or, you know, and if it's gonna be a little bit later than that, that's not a problem. Just let me know. That way I know what I'm looking out for.
Okay. But Julie, I will be out on the 11th. I will actually be gone until the 16th, well, actually the 15th. the night of the
Okay.
15th.
Me too.
Okay, okay, but you guys can still turn in your aggregate score sheets.
We'll
So-
still have a quorum if we all attend.
Right, yeah. You guys can still turn in your aggregate score sheets, and if you have any questions that you want answered, right? You can give them to me, or, give them to one of your fellow board members, for the chair, the vice chair, and they will be able to ask. So if something should come up, you can certainly do that. But what you have to provide still very much so counts. Like when Brian Keeley, your fellow board member, comes back to town, I'll be giving him, his stack as well.
First it is.
Would that be okay with everybody? That's fair? Okay.
Yes.
If you're not able to, just communicate with me. That way I don't, start, blowing up your phone or something. Other than that, does anybody have any questions or anything right now from the information that you have in front of you? No? Okay.
March 1st. March 1st.
Yeah.
The only one I have is that one organization that hadn't taken any of their money out yet.
Oh, sure.
The Alliance and the CASA.
The Alliance and CASA. So CASA does have, I just need one document from them. They submitted a reimbursement request, just the other day. And I reminded them that I am, needing a document before I can compliantly reimburse them.
Yeah, we gotta check all them boxes.
Yeah, and so that's why I put that note on there, because I just wanted you to know, hey, it's not that they're not intending, they're going to be spending, and, the Alliance is the same way, and so that's why I have those comments, because I wanted to offer some comfort. We don't have a worry that we're leaving money on the table.
The Alliance just had a change of command,
Yes,
so I understand about them, yeah, they changed command. Our buddy. Very highly. No.
yeah. So, other than that, we would be meeting back on March 11th. And, to do that, and also by March 7th, I will have the 2024 annual action plan. I say rough draft, but it's gonna, I say rough draft because there always seems to be like some little correction or, you know, perhaps something, to update. It will be posted, March 7th, it will be posted up on the city's website. There will be a hard copy of it at the public library. There will be a hard copy of it in community development here at City Hall. And, so that'll be available starting March 7th. It wouldn't be until the April meeting that I would be asking all of you to approve or disapprove for it to go to city commission to be submitted. But it will be available as of March 7th. And other than that, I don't have anything else on the agenda.
Other matters, correspondence? Good.
Nope, that was my other matters and correspondence, unless you all have any.
I proclaim this day. We don't need to vote to adjourn, do we?
No,
We can vote by leaving. You don't want to adjourn, you can stay.
Are you saying you now say this meeting is
The
adjourned?
meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.